This AI agent watches Twitter and Reddit 24/7 for people who need exactly what I'm selling. It even scores the leads and writes replies for me using artificial intelligence. And in this video, I'll show you how to set it up from scratch, so even if you don't have technical expertise, you can build this and even sell it yourself. So let's get right into it. What's up guys, this is Ben with God of Prompt. Here's the completed engagement radar N8N flow. Whole solution is going to cost about 90 bucks a month, 40 a month for Apify, 20 a month for the Apify Reddit scraper in particular, 24 a month for N8N, and 5 to 10 a month for your OpenAI calls. And it does a few main things. Number one, it fetches when your brand is mentioned using a Twitter scraper and a Reddit scraper on Apify. Then it processes all that data and AI scores it and stores it. So we store it in a Google Sheet like so. And if this is hot lead column is flagged as true, then we process those further. So here's where we'll write a personalized reply with AI, store it in a new tab here so you know where to focus. And lastly is a Slack alert. So you will get pinged in Slack just like this, hot lead alert with a link to the sheet. So to build this thing, we're going to create a new workflow. We'll start this off with a schedule trigger. Let's trigger this once a day at noon. Next, we'll add an edit fields node. And I won't bore you through typing all this stuff. I'll just show you what to copy into your node. So I've added 3 fields here. Keywords I'm searching for, max items I'm keeping low. This feeds into one of the later nodes. It's the maximum amount of items that the Apify scraper will return. So I'm just keeping it low so for time and cost considerations while testing. Business JSON, it's a big JSON snippet, and it's just data about your business. So you'll replace this with a JSON snippet about your own business. This will feed to AI later to give a more personalized result. Now we'll call the Twitter scraper. So we'll add an HTTP request. I'm renaming it. Here's the URL we're calling, the authentication type. When you get to header auth, you'll need to create a new credential. It's asking for a name and value. So how we get that name and value is you come to apify.com, you make an account. It comes with some free credits, but I'm on the starter plan, 39 bucks a month. Once you have that account sorted, go to the store, and we're gonna search for this exact tool here, Twitter Scraper Lite by this publisher. So hit that. Go to API endpoints, hit copy. Back in your N8N flow, your name is going to be authorization, and your value is going to be bearer space paste the API key. So I'm literally typing in this, bearer space paste the Apify API key in there. You just can't see it because it's hiding it, right? It's like a password. So hit save. We're gonna send some more data, so make sure you're specifying these headers. We're also sending a JSON body, so it looks like this, which you guys can copy. Remember, you can take a screenshot and paste it into ChatGPT. There's options down here. When we hit execute step, we get our text responses that are based on these keywords that we passed in from this previous step. This one costs money every time we run it, so we'll hit P on it to pin the data. Next is another HTTP request. This will configure like so. We're going to use a different URL and a different header auth. So when we add this credential, we again have the name and value to plug in. But this time in the Apify store, we're going to look for our Reddit scraper. So it's again this specific one from the specific publisher. Grab your API endpoint, copy it, go back to your N8N flow, authorization, value is bearer space your key. Save that bad boy. Make sure the rest of your HTTP request node looks like this. The JSON body is important here. I've made the amount of posts we're pulling kind of low, again, just for testing. In production, I might make this, 10s and 5s, or even more. You can see here's where we're passing in our keywords. And if we run it, we get some Reddit posts that it's picked up on. And go ahead and pin this as well once you've tested it. Now that we've fetched the mentions using our Appify scrapers, so now that we're done with that, we get to fetch the actual brand data. So once we've done that, we can move on to processing the data and storing it. First thing is going to be a code node. Hit JavaScript. I renamed mine data standardization. Let it execute once. Here's all the code. Again, feel free to take screenshots, throw it into ChatGPT, have it transcribe it for you. Here it is on one screen if that helps to capture it. I'm not sure if AI can do that. All this does is combine these two different types of outputs we're getting from the scrapers into one neatly formatted set of 13 items that are combined, the 11 and 2. Now we're going to add our artificial intelligence agent. We're passing in this prompt with the content of the message we found online. Here's the prompt we're giving. We're basically saying give an in-depth analysis and return your output in a clean JSON format. So go ahead and copy that prompt. We need to hook it up to a chat model. So let's use OpenAI for now. If it's your first time adding OpenAI, you need to create a new credential. It'll ask for an API key. To find it, you go to platform.openai.com/API-keys. Create a new key. Copy it. Back in N8N, paste it in. Hit save. And remember what you've named it. We'll choose GPT-5 Nano for the time being. Then once that's connected, you can hit play. Once that's done, pin it, because it also costs money and can take a while depending on how many items you're passing in. Go ahead, add another code node after this, a JavaScript. We'll name this one Enhance with Scoring. This will be a run once for all items. Here is the code. First part, second part. When we run it, the output is the score added. Next, we'll look to store the result in Google Sheets. So find Sheets, find append or update row in Sheet. Add your account by signing in with Google. And it's gonna ask for a document, but we don't have one yet. So basically you just wanna copy the column names I have here. So in your own Google Drive account, create a new sheet, name it something you'll remember. Like I'll name mine engagement radar-main. And then you want to copy these columns exactly as they are here. And you'll want to copy these columns exactly as they are here, all the way to column Q. Alright, so I named mine engagement radar main. That means I'm going to look for engagement radar main in my list. The sheet, we're going to choose mentions. And your thing will start like this with all the blanks, once you've added those columns. And you'll want to map each column manually by unique ID. Unique ID is just pull in this platform, then you hit an underscore, then pull in post ID at the end, like that. And the rest are pretty straightforward. Like platform, you're just pulling in platform. Post ID, you're pulling in post ID, etc. So I'll scroll down so you guys can see. So back in Excel, I'm gonna delete all of these placeholder rows that I have so we can see if anything is added when we run this step. We got success, and there we have it. Under the columns we made, we have the data that we scraped from Twitter and Reddit. Now, it's correctly determined that none of these are hot leads, but let's pretend that we do have a hot lead. so that we can continue and process it. And to do that, I'm going to go into my previous step here, hit the edit button, and I'm just going to pretend that isHotLead is actually true here and hit save. I'll do the same thing here just in case. Edit isHotLead true for the first one. Now if we add an if node, we can check if isHotLead is equal to true, which it is for that last one because we manually set it. And I got an error, so it's telling me to select the boolean is equal to. There we go. 1 item is flown through the true branch and 8 items to the false branch, also shown here. So we've scraped the internet for our brand mentions. We've processed and stored that data in Google Sheets. And from that processing, if we determined they are a hot lead and maybe worth a reach out, and if it's worth it for us to reach out, that will go to this true node, and we'll want to process again with AI as part of actually handling the hot leads. So search for OpenAI, and we're looking to message a model. We can bring this down to our handling hot leads section. Be sure to pick the same credentials that you made in the step above. So I have account 16 here and account 16 here as well. We're using GPT 3.5 Turbo, which is an old one, but screw it, we'll just stay with it just for fun. The prompt is like that, and you bring in the JSON that represents all of the JSON from this last step. That's our user prompt. For our system prompt, I'll show you that here. And this generates the friendly response to the message online, keeping it soft and non-pushy. That's about it for that node. Execute it to test it out. Now I'm responding to a tweet. I think it's about a soccer team, but it does include my last name in there, so that's why the AI picked it up. So yeah, nothing to do with me actually or my business, but what it wrote in response was, "It sounds like you're facing some challenges. We're here to help navigate through tough times. So don't think I'm going to get into the soccer business anytime soon." Anyways, yeah, if I wanted to change that, I would just edit my AI prompt or the about my business. Try to steer the AI away from picking up stuff like that. You know, I manually marked that as true, so that's not a failure of the flow itself. It's just me testing if something were to be true here. And what we want to do is create a new sheet here called Hot Leads. That'll include a little bit more information. It'll include this AI generated reply and a link to their profile so we can easily, send it to them. But this is a separate sheet from all of the leads. So these are only the qualified hot leads. So to create that sheet dynamically, look for Google Sheets, and we want to create a sheet. Be sure to select the same Google account you selected up here. Select your document, the title, and we're just setting the title here to today's date with hot leads. So this dynamically gets populated with whatever today's date is. So when you run that, you'll have your new sheet made. Add a code node, make it run once for all items. That's JavaScript. And this is the code you'll put in. Execute that and you'll get the data that we're going to put into this new sheet. Now we'll add another Google Sheets step. This is going to be append or update row in a sheet. Go ahead and select your account again. This time we're going to take data from the create a sheet step. So all you do is come down here and we're looking for the spreadsheet ID. So we can simply drag in that spreadsheet ID. We're also looking for just the sheet ID. So pull that in as well. Fill the rest out like so. For some reason, this adds 2 rows. So I just added a delete rows node after this. like so. It just deletes the second row. So yeah, probably not the best practice, just easier than trying to figure out why it does that. Run that, it will delete that extra row. Add another JavaScript code node. Now with this. Bam, bam. And actually, to get that exact code to work, you have to rename this node to check hot lead, like that. Now it'll run, because we're referencing this node's name in the code. That's kind of processed that response that we're going to send to the lead. We're going to add another sheets node that is a append or update row, which we're going to fill out like so, similar to the other ones. And if we hit execute, we should see our hot lead sheet get updated. And that might be enough for most people. We're going to take it one step further and send a message to ourselves in Slack when we detect a new hot lead. So we're going to add a send a message node. So as far as the settings go, we have an execute once. Yours will be mostly blank, so let's fill it out together. The credential, you're going to create a new credential. Hit access token, and it looks for an access token and signature secret. So to get those two pieces of info from Slack, go to api.slack.com/apps. Create a new app. You might need to make an account here if you hadn't before. You give it a name, assign it to a workspace, install app so that you invite it to your Slack workspace. Once you see it under the apps here, you can go to basic information. Here is your signing secret. Copy that, which is the signature secret, here in N8N. Your access token is going to be in OAuth and permissions. This is your OAuth tokens here. Hit copy. And that is exactly what we're going to bring to the access token. Hit save. Test this out. We got an alert that it went through. Let's see. Indeed, we did get a new hot lead alert with a link to the Google Doc with our hot lead in there. It has their comment, our reply, and their account as well, so we can follow up. When you're building these yourself, you always want to unpin everything and test the flow from end to end. Ideally, like several times before you assume that it's going to be good to go, running without you observing it. So let's try this thing from end to end. Fingers crossed, let's execute this thing. Scraping, again, Twitter and Reddit. So right here, I got an error on my Reddit scraper. Let's troubleshoot together. Authorization failed. Please check your credentials. Okay. So this is the header that I created here during the video. Let's edit it and see what could be wrong here. So I actually misspelled authorization here. Authorization. And I believe that is going to fix our issue. So again, we're going to try to run this thing from end to end, the whole thing. While this is running, if you appreciate the step-by-step approach I take here in the real-life troubleshooting that I cover in these videos, go ahead and subscribe to the video. Please like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these detailed step-by-step videos. You'll notice these Appify scrapers sometimes take a while. You can check on the status by going to your Reddit scraper, hitting runs. You can see this request is in progress. So it's been in progress for 2 minutes here. So that assures me that the flow is still running. It's just on this step. Crawl finished successfully, so we should see our flow continuing. Now that we've got the posts, let's process them with AI. We store them in the sheet, then write an AI response if it's a hot lead. We make that new hot leads sheet and send a message to Slack. So that's how you build the engagement radar system from scratch. And these automations save businesses a lot of time, so you can justify relatively high price points. How many hours and at which hourly rate is this going to save a business owner? Anyways, that pretty much does it for today's video. Please like the video if I was able to help you out today, and leave a comment if you have any questions. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.